What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phase 6, your source for music, business, motivation, and support. It's your boy, Sir Love, and it's another episode of Ask Sir Love. And on this channel, what I do, not this channel, but on this particular show, what I do is I answer questions that have been sent in by people like yourself. So please, send in questions. I'm very active right now in answering questions. I'm going back in the archives, reaching out to questions that were asked years ago, a year ago in this instance, and trying to add some value. So let's talk about the Army Company and what the Army Company wants to know. The Army Company says, "Hey, brother, it's nice seeing you putting up videos and answering questions. I'm an Army wounded veteran, so I decided to move and retire to the Dominican Republic, where both my parents and I are from. Just like you, I also want to help. I came to the country wanting to manage an athlete like a fighter, since I know a lot of hand-to-hand combat," which makes sense. "But I've stumbled across some music artists that want me to manage them, and the first artist I've started working with gave a bit of trouble. Yeah, gave a bit of trouble due to me trying to build a team around him. And he came a bit strong, demanding a car out of the bat, just out the bat. The man wants a car just because he has some history with a now well-known artist from the country. Now, I noticed that to manage an athlete versus a music artist is a lot cheaper. With that said, I've also noticed a lot of people saying that the real benefits to the music is in publishing rather than just being a manager. But what do you think I should do with the artist, and what do you think being a publisher is better?" Great question. God darn, great question. So first off, the music industry and the boxing world has so many parallels. They're so freaking similar. The dynamics of the business, the structure of the business. It's really not weird that you see a lot of pairings between athletes and people in the music business. I mean, Tupac and Tyson had a great relationship. Lil Wayne and 50 Cent or Lil Wayne and Mayweather, right? There's been a connection. If you think about Sam Cooke and Muhammad Ali, like there's always been a relationship between the music business and athletes and boxers. And the reason this happens is really because of the nature of the business. Like the businesses are very similar. You take a person that barely has nothing, that comes from nothing. Typically in music, people that are successful come from very, very humble beginnings, just like boxers come from very, very humble beginnings. In order to get them successful, you pretty much have to almost take care of them. They become a child. You almost have to adopt this individual and take care of their lifestyle to get them to where they need to be. Custom Model, Iron Mike, right? Or if you think about just about any artist in the music industry, right? You almost have to adopt them. Justin Bieber, Scooter Braun, right? You take them, you take them under your wing, you promote them, you believe in them, you have faith in them, you build them up, and you retain some type of ownership in their success going forward, right? The structure of deals is very similar. The structure of how you structure a boxing deal and how you structure a bout rather, and how you structure, a concert. A lot of this stuff is very similar. So you're going to see some similarities here, which is probably beneficial for you. If you learn one business, you'll get good at the other. However, I want to get deeper into the question at hand, which is which one is better? Right? Being a manager or being in publishing. And there really is no better. What it really comes down into is what you're better at. Preference. You could put the same amount of effort into one area as you do the other area, but if you're more talented in one skill set versus the other, you'll see more success. So what skill sets are important to going down one of these paths is probably a better way to answer the question and to frame it and to look at it. So let's talk about it. If you're the type of person that is very skilled at sales, you're really good at being on the phones, you really like networking, you really like talking to people, you don't have to be in people's face, you're really good at communicating online or communicating over the phone or communicating at a distance. If you're a person that's very business savvy, you're good at corporate language, you're really good at reading, you're comfortable with paperwork and documents and things of that nature, the publishing route may be the better route for you, because you don't have to do all the glitz and glam stuff. Everyone's not into that. Oh, I got to go out to the club and I have to wear the Gucci this and the this and the that and have to look the part and have to talk the part and have to spend all this money and have to do it. You may not be into that, right? You may just be into like brass tacks. I want to handle business. You gotta film. I want to put my song in it. It's a great song. It fits the scene like this. I heard about what you're doing. We can have a great impact. Paperwork's done, this, that, that. And you sell your artist. You sell your ability to get stuff done, to be clean. There are so many people in the music industry that suck at the business, the paperwork specifically, that when people stand up and know the paperwork well, movies and television and all the people that just want the music and don't want to deal with the business, they're so happy to meet you. They're like, oh my God, you dealt with all the business. I don't have to deal with the artists. I can just work with you. Can I work with you for everything? right? So if that's your space, go in that space and do that. If you're more so into the culture, you like the swagger, you like being at the clubs, you like working with the artists, you're more of a mentor, you like helping people and seeing people grow and developing and working with someone. You like the idea of adopting someone darn near like, yo, you're like my brother, you're like my son, my daughter, nephew, whatever it is, energy that you have, and you want to lead and guide someone and navigate them down their career. That's management. Still requires salesmanship, but it's a different style of relationship building. It's in your face. You have to be there on the ground, boots on the ground, but you're there for the whole journey. You're there on the road, having fun on the road, the spoils of the road. You're having fun at the award shows. You're involved in everything, and you're a part of the culture. You're a part of the business, the glitz and glam side of it. And if that's what you're into, that's what you're pursuing, right? But on the other side, there's still things to consider. There's still things to think of in this question. You said, what do you think I should do with the artist? And do you think getting a publishing is better, right? So we just talked about publishing, but this whole idea the artist was demanding a car. I'm not sure if the athlete was demanding it or the artist was demanding it, but what should you do with the artist? If this artist is the person that's demanding the car from you, then you've done something to showcase that you're the type of person that gives cars away. I'm not trying to say that you're tricking out here, but it seems like there's a perception around you. Maybe you're walking around living a lavish lifestyle. You went to DR. If you're from the U.S., I think you said you're from the U.S.? I'm not sure where you're from, but most foreign dollars in Western countries, they stretch real far in the DR, right? So you don't even gotta look like you popping to be popping in the DR. You can do a lot with a little bit of money out there, and you've probably experienced that. That's one of the reasons why you enjoy probably being out there. The conversions rates, the opportunities, this, that, and the third. So if you're coming off as a person that has a lot, an environment where people don't have a lot, there are going to be these types of asks. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to level set. Hey, look, no, I'm not interested in doing that type of business. This is what I want to do. We're not investing in a car for these reasons. Instead, we're going to do this, down the third. Or you may find it beneficial to invest in a car. Something that labels do all the time. Happened to my guy in particular. I guess I don't want to. Well, it's his business. I won't put it out there. Famous guy now, but when I knew him, he took a deal and they gave him a car as a part of the deal. This is a regular thing, but this is how this works on paper for you to know. I give you a car. You can now use that car to do this, down the third, but I never gave you the car. You're renting the car from me. So what I do is I keep track or log of all the payments and things of that nature that are being made against the car, and I get all that recouped back from the label when I eventually get you signed somewhere else. So now I go to the label and say, yeah, you got to pay me back for all of the rent for the car, right? Or you do it the other way around, which labels often do. You go get the money first, and then you pull the rent money for the car out of the budget. So the artist got a budget of $100,000. The artist needs a car. You decide that's what's needed. You go buy the car for $5,000, but for $10,000, you're not spending a lot of money. You only got a $100,000 budget. You can't blow it on the fly car, right? $100,000 budget. You go get a $10,000 car that's reliable, and then you're charging the artist, maybe $1,000 a month to use the car. And you can build that against the bill. And this is one way that the production companies are really known for this, will pull and extract money from the budget to give back to themselves. So I bought the car for $10,000, but I financed the car, so I'm only paying $200 a month on the car, but I rented it to the artist for $1,000 a month. I'm making an $800 profit every single month off the artist driving this car. Now, for you got artists that are looking at this going, oh my God, that's not fair. Hey, you got to understand business. It's business. Everyone caps. Everything gets brought in and upsold. That's the world of business. If you don't want that to happen to you, read the contracts, know what you're signing up for, buy your own car, But if you want the support, then you're going to take on some losses, and hopefully the support that you signed with is going to put you in a position to win. So it's not necessary that you can't give them the car. The problem is, how could you give them the car? Do you want to be the type of person that gives out cars? Is that your brand? Is that even what you want to do? Is what we should be thinking about here. So I'm giving you guys a completely different perspective. I love this question. I love questions like this. We can kind of talk about different ways to pull it off, different ways to do it. I hope this was beneficial for you guys watching. Hey, you see this right here? Look out for your boy. Keep these videos going. Send me a thank you. Send some thank yous. Pay a tuition and keep getting educated so the school can stay alive. Download the music business. Go to the website. Check out all the amazing things that I'm offering. We're going to continue building the library of resources to make sure that we can continue helping you all win. I'm Sir Love. I don't know everything, but I know a lot about a little bit about a lot. Always trying to give you guys everything that I got right here on Phase 6. I appreciate you all. Take care.